I'm going to get an idea.
All right, Nittany Nation, we are live. First episode.
Let's go.
But we are ready to go. First show here on the Voice of College Football. My name's Andy. Got Nick over here. And we're looking to bring you guys some Penn State coverage that, hopefully you guys want to tune into week after week.
It's going to be the idea here for you guys. We're definitely going to be giving you as much Penn State knowledge as your little brains can possibly handle.
Yeah, and then I know you're not huge on Twitter, Nick, but something's going down on Twitter on the Notre Dame message boards.
Oh, really? What do we have? What do we have going on? What's cooking in the boards?
Cooking in the boards is recruiting. They seem to think they've landed 5-star Joey O'Brien after this weekend's official visit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's coming. So is that been confirmed yet or not yet?
Not confirmed, but we're getting a whole lot of eyeball emojis and the most annoying.
I do see here that it says he is expected to announce his decision on June 20th.
Yeah, Friday. So, I don't know about you, but the most annoying emoji con I see is that leprechaun, the little clover that these Notre Dame fans leave on every post.
Well, they listen. If there's one thing Notre Dame fans know how to do, it's troll. Let's be honest here.
I think Penn State fans are learning that since the national semifinals, where they got it over on us, so we can't really say much, but.
Yep, exactly. And you know what? But coming forward, though, with this recruiting process, there are some pretty big names that Penn State is looking to land this year. And I was just curious, who do you think, minus O'Brien, because of the Notre Dame talks, who do you think are some of the top recruits that Penn State's going for right now?
I think besides O'Brien, which James Franklin put on record, like he's not letting him leave the state. So we'll see if he can hold his word there. I think Kari Adams is the biggest one. Another one in the secondary. 4-star could edge up to a 5-star corner here. He was on a visit last week, seemed to go really good, but they visited Notre Dame with Joey O'Brien this last weekend. So Notre Dame's is becoming a thorn in our side here for recruiting.
And you would think, like, what is this private Catholic school doing coming down to Pennsylvania trying to steal all these boys? Keep it in Indiana, all right? Keep it in. Take it to Chicago, all right? We don't need it down here.
Right. Just let us live in our backyard. Let us get our guys. But with NIL and all this, it makes every school more nationwide.
Well, did you see the new NIL the structure that they've done now for the NCAA? How they're going to do that?
I didn't look too much. Yeah, I didn't look too much into it. I know the rev share. Like every school can allocate like $20 million to pay their athletes, but then every NIL deal has to be go through a clearinghouse that's worth more than $600.
It's basically now the mini NFL, but on a many more players, which I think is going to be interesting. But I mean, you're going to see kids now. I think more frequently than already. You're going to see kids coming out of high school with agents now. And that's going to be something that I think is going to be the new going standard for these kids. But at the same time, this is going to be a huge opportunity for some smaller schools, I think. If you have a big booster program at a smaller school, I think this will make things, this will rattle some cages, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even looking at the smaller schools in the Big Ten, look at Indiana. They finally stepped up to the plate with NIL last year and made a college football playoff the same time Penn State did for the first time,
It's gonna be the whole what's the word that I'm looking for? What is college football? Well, I mean, what we knew what college football is, you and I growing up, it's never going to be the same.
No. And I don't necessarily hate it. Go make what you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no guardrails in place right now. It's even more wild, wild west than, dropping off bags of money on kids' porches in the 90s. And
I mean, this is just that, but they're just telling us that they're doing it now, at least. They're like, oh, by the way, here is your bag of money, as opposed to it hidden inside of a McDonald's, Happy Meal or something.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, the SEC is taking it pretty hard. They haven't won the last 2 national titles because now everybody's kind of on the same playing field. The SEC was famous for those, under the table deals, and now that everybody's pay to play, the Big Ten winning with Ohio State winning last year and Michigan winning the year before that, I think Big Ten over the SEC now.
I am really starting to agree with that, and it's funny to see the SEC literally white knuckle gripping, trying to hold on to that. Oh, we're still the premier, conference. We're going to be the ones who take over the NCAA. Meanwhile, the Big Ten sitting over here going, hold my beer. Let's go grab UCLA and USC while we're at it and have it in Oregon and have ourselves a good time.
Yeah, definitely the funner conference.
I think it's
for sure.
Much more. There's a much more interesting contest. I mean, what you're getting when you go down to the SEC. Arkansas fans what they're going to do. What LSU fans are going to do. And I mean, to an extent, with the new addition of these Big Ten teams, mainly Oregon, UCLA, and Penn State, it adds this new little almost it's like a new shiny toy that you get to play with.
Yeah, and we got to experience last year when Penn State went to USC. When's the last time Penn State went to USC and it played there? Back when they were independent, probably?
Yeah, I would have to say it had to be maybe early 2000s, if not the late 90s.
Yeah, and I mean, we got the overtime game with, Tyler Warren just doing everything. We don't get that unless the Big Ten expands.
Speaking of that boy is making some waves up at the big leagues right now. Everybody's talking about Tyler.
Yeah, he's been killing it over in Indianapolis, even without a good quarterback.
Whoa, hey. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if you've seen Josh Pate, one of the national media guys in college football. He put out his Big Ten top quarterback list.
Okay.
We had our boy Drew on top.
Okay.
Which we can agree with for sure.
Easily.
But we might be the only ones.
Yeah, I think we can easily, have that conversation between the two of us. But I think other people are going to, have their opinions as well. But at the same time, who's got a name in the Big Ten right now? Every other quarterback who's had a name graduated or transferred.
Yeah, because Ohio State's probably going to bring out Julian Sayin. Oregon's going to roll out Dante Moore. And Illinois got Luke Altmaier. That kid was tough. That kid's got some spunk.
That kid can play. That kid can definitely play. I think he's going to be definitely what I like to call a bolo, a be on the lookout. But I think also somebody that nobody's talking about who I think is going to be really good is Bryce Underwood at Michigan.
Yeah, to pay, just like our NIL talk, for Michigan to just pony up that much money without him playing a snap in college and literally taking him from LSU, they got to be pretty confident in what they have there.
That's talk. You're really talking about putting all of your eggs in a basket and hoping that something comes from that for sure. That's what I'm noticing as well.
It's nice to have the Michigan fan that's married to the billionaire Oracle CEO.
Goes a long way in the pockets. But no, I think Drew Aller I don't think there is another quarterback in the Big Ten that you could put above him right now. He's got only strictly just because of his resume and what he's done. I mean, the man's been, he's played in so many big games in his career already, and how many of those were literally sitting on his shoulders with 2 minutes left? A good amount of them. The kid's got that pizzazz that that you want to see. It's just size. Everybody always goes back to his size every single time.
Yeah. And I mean, he slings it all over he can make every throw. You can't say that about any other quarterback in the Big Ten right now.
No.
Drew's the one guy in the Big Ten right now that can make every throw. Now, does he need to give us a game against Ohio State? He's got one more chance to give us the Ohio State game.
This will haunt him for the rest of his life if he can't pull this one off.
Yeah, like he's already 0-2. They've been one-score games where, I mean, frankly, he's thrown duds out there, under 200 yards passing. I think 1 touchdown, 0 touchdown this last year. Like, that's the one thing, well, there's 2 things. National title, 3 things. National title, Big Ten title, Ohio State.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. For Penn State fans, those first 2 don't shine as bright if you don't do the third one.
Right. Because
for the rest of your career, you could say, yeah, we won the national championship. Yeah, but you lost. To Ohio State. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the victory lap. That's the victory lap Michigan's been playing all year since the season ended.
Oh, Michigan is talk about the thorn in the side for a lot of people. I mean, they're coming in unranked, and I'm scared for them. I think they're going to be making waves because now they're done with all of their Harbaugh's like sanctions and stuff, right? Do they still have another year on that?
They're still waiting. There's something supposed to come out in July.
Okay, so we're still waiting on that.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see if Sharon Moore gets anything. He's got that 2-game suspension where they put it on the second and third game of the season. Third or fourth game. Something so he can coach against Oklahoma this year.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so
he'll miss he'll miss the 2 the MAC teams they play.
Yeah, he's gonna miss Ohio, the University of Ohio, and Southern Illinois,
Fresno State or something.
Hey, not too much on the Bulldogs, all right?
But yeah, so those will be coming. I think I saw July is when we'll learn more about that. But luckily, we don't see Michigan again this year unless it's in the Big Ten title.
That is true. But I just want to kind of circle back to what we were saying earlier. Like, it's hilarious that's the first thing that you brought up. You didn't bring up, how Drew looks. It was Ohio State immediately, and that's everybody's mind every single time. And I mean, what are they? Penn State's not 0-4, are they now? Is it 4 years in a row?
We haven't beat Ohio State since 2016.
16. Wait.
Yeah, we're 0-9. We have not beat them since the blocked field goal.
That was it. Yeah, I was trying to remember when the game. I was running my head trying to figure out which game it was.
Yeah,
man. So anything after 2020 just feels everything post COVID. I've lost all track of time before that. I was like, oh, you mean the olden days? Oh, okay.
Right, the good old days where we only lost to them 4 times instead of 9
times. Just going into those games now, just to big picture some fun things here. What needs to be done? Do you think it's solely on Drew's shoulders, or do you think it's on Franklin's shoulder? Like who do we need to go, hey, let's get this figured out?
The last 3 times it's been on the offense. So the defense has played good enough to win those games.
Well, the defense, I mean, the defense is just I don't even get me started. I'm excited for this defense every year that it comes around.
Yeah, and then, I mean, going back to the Clifford years, like Clifford would have his worst games against Ohio State, turn the ball over. It's usually the offense that we just cannot get just enough offense to beat them. We can make it a 1-score game, which doesn't count for anything. We don't have a column for, hey, we were within a score of Ohio State.
It's all or nothing.
In that case, we'd be like 7-2 instead of 0-9.
Would be a little better, but still, we're just still rolling down a hill here that we don't want to go down.
But yeah, I mean, if you look at the over/under for Penn State's win total this year, it's at 10.5.
Okay.
And the regular season basically boils down to 2 games: the whiteout on September 27th against Oregon, and October they go to Ohio State.
We're going to Ohio State. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 2-game season essentially.
Really is, though. At the end of the day, if like it's, and if you and especially if you want to get to the Big Ten championship, that's what I mean. That's the first goal there is, well, obviously, I guess, yeah. So it's a 3-step process to get there. So it's got to beat Oregon, got to beat Ohio State, got to win the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, like I mean, there's some tricky games that you'd look to in the past. Like go to Iowa, but at the same time, they're Iowa. We're Penn State. We're going to be a top.
The problem, you can't be going in with that attitude, though. That's tight end you there. That's trap game city right there. That is trap game city.
It is trap game, and I do believe it's the week before the Ohio State game. I think we go Iowa, bye week, Ohio State.
Oh. But, so if we even remotely think about, this is where I get a little crazy. We're gonna overlook Iowa, and then it's gonna come down to like a field goal from 47 yards.
Yeah, and maybe we get lucky and get Big Noon because you don't want to play there at night.
God, no.
Like sit there and pray for Big Noon.
It's like, I mean, I don't know though. You got to think that it's each year it feels like it's just this close, this close, and for some reason it feels I don't want to say that that feels like I've seen a couple of his interviews. He seems a little different this year. It sounds like he's kind of thinking like, listen, this might be my last chance. Like, how many more times are they going to let me coach a season and not beat Ohio State?
I think Franklin's earned to leave on his terms by now because I mean he's getting up there in age, and he's brought us a long ways from the sanctions. Took over for Bill O'Brien, still in the sanctions. Reduced scholarships back when NIL wasn't a thing.
Yep.
And kept Penn State relevant, where I don't know how many guys could. So I think he's earned a cachet, and especially now, there's finally alignment between him and the AD, Pat Kraft, to where they know what it takes to win football games.
I like that, but at the same time, it's with football is a "what have you done for me lately" sport. So and just looking at him in the past couple of interviews I've watched, I don't want to say that he thinks that he's at any kind of jeopardy or anything like that, but he just seems that he's almost more. It's like he wants it more. I've seen something in these interviews now where he's like, "I've got this all figured out now. I've gone through this. I've done it now. This is it." And I keep saying make or break, and I don't really mean it as that. But I think in his mind, it is for him. It's almost like a make or break type thing.
Yeah, I think he sees the opportunity ahead of him. It's like, when am I going to get this chance again where we bring back so many guys, have the 5-star quarterback, have both running backs could break this career record for rushing yards this year. They could end up 1-2 for career rushing yards at Penn State. Like, it really does feel like natty or bust this year, as much as I hate that.
And I think that's where his mindset's at. I think he's thinking natty or bust, and because, like you said, and I think we're bringing back the brain tongue twisted there. The 2 running backs are going to be an absolute game. I mean, when you bring about not 1 but 2, and they were a 2-headed monster last year. I think Drew Eller might maybe throw 17 balls a game, maybe.
And we'd be good with it.
And I'd be completely happy.
That's the thing. Like, people want to say, like, Drew's never going to win the Heisman because we don't need him to.
Nope.
We don't need that kind of performance. We need what he does. He takes care of the ball, but we need this much more. We need him not to make that throw against Notre Dame at the end.
That part.
That's what we need. We need him to not make that, just make one more pass. One more pass a game, basically.
And like
we know he can make.
We don't need him to win games. We just need him to not lose games. Is the real thing here. It's just more of a, and I think going over that whole last season through his head, probably, I'm sure he understands that too. I think you're gonna see a much less risk-taking Drew Aller this year. I think you're gonna see him throw the ball away more. I think you're gonna see him roll out and just run out of bounds. He's like, hey, if I can get us to 3rd and 6, I know I got 2 dudes back here who could literally run through a wall if I asked them to.
Yeah. And, they're bringing back most of the offensive line. They probably have the best offensive line in the Big Ten, too. There's just so much coming back that it's crazy.
And with just the pure amount of talent that left this year, too, there was a lot. I mean, a lot of talent that went into the draft this year. So,
yeah.
But at the same time, you're going to see a lot of talent come up. We're going to see every year. You're going to see somebody. I'm sure even on Penn State, we're going to probably see some freshman or sophomore who we've never heard of, or some walk on who's just going to be like, "Oh, who the hell is this guy?" It happens every year.
Yeah, I mean, we got LeVar Arrington Jr. coming in as a freshman.
I'm so excited for him. I really hope they put him in one game and just let him go right over the top. First play, just right over the top.
He's gonna be wearing 11, like Pops.
That's awesome.
I from what I've seen, the dude's a beast. Like, they've posted videos of him. He's ripped for 18.
If your dad's LeVar Arrington, I'm pretty sure you got some good genes going right there.
So I think he'll be more than just a novelty this year. I think he'll be able to make a name for himself.
Do you think that he'll actually see any PT this year, or do you think he'll redshirt?
I think he's going to be one of those players where they might burn the red shirt, where he gets in over more than 4 games, just because physically he's ready, and they're thin on the defensive end.
That is true.
And linebacker, they're thin on the edge and in linebacker. So he's kind of that hybrid that can go either or. So I could see him playing more than 4 games and burning that red shirt.
That's what just thinking, the end. That's the only part of that defense that has just a little question mark right there, is how are we going to do on the edge and in the flats right there. And so, yeah, if he keeps just improving as he goes, I don't mind when we burn red shirts. I don't mind when a kid gets in early, because that's just going to give him more experience going forward. I mean, there's only so much you can do at practice as opposed to getting in the game. And especially at a younger age, being able to have that experience and then move through your career a little bit more as opposed to sitting and waiting may or may not be a good thing, but I always tend to see it as a good thing.
Yeah. And especially in the NIL era, if kids are playing, they're not going to leave.
Nope.
If they're getting playing time, they're more likely to stay, especially with the culture that James Franklin has built. I mean, they are a pretty happy family there. That's one thing he always comes back to, is the culture. They're a family, and I think they show that, and I think it shows with how many people don't leave in the portal.
That, and you bring up a really good point there, and I've noticed, it's something just to more of a broad stroke. People all thought that NIL was going to ruin college sports. Everybody thought, I was like, you guys are crazy. We're going to actually get kids who are going to want to stay 4 years and play ball at their school for 4 years now. We're actually going to get to look at a guy like Drew Aller. If NIL probably didn't exist, I would probably say he's probably going to the draft this year. You want to try to make sure that you utilize, and you want to make as much money as possible. The ability that these kids now have the opportunity to make money in college. Well, heck, if I'm making $3 million a year here at Penn State, maybe I will stay till I'm a senior and then go into the market after that.
Yeah. Because I mean, there was talks that if Drew came out this year, I mean, he would have been probably second pick after Cam Ward.
Probably, yeah.
But we got him to come back, Katron Allen to come back, Singleton to come back. Dennis Sutton came back. I mean, just there's so much talent that came back because of NIL helps with that.
I think it greatly helps with that. I would say that two or three of those people that you just named, I don't want to say anyone in particular, probably would have been in the draft this year had it not been for NIL.
Yeah, and circling back to the culture thing. I mean, that's one thing Franklin's always preached is culture, culture, culture. And you look at some of these teams that go big on the NIL, like LSU and some other Alabama.
Look at a team like Colorado, what Dion did, where he just picks up a team from Jacksonville State and then just moves the whole team to Colorado.
Yeah, like those teams you look at LSU, Colorado, they aren't winning at the clip that James Franklin is.
No,
and I think that has a lot to do with the culture he's building, and the guys actually look out for each other and show up for each other instead of just playing for a paycheck.
Well, Franklin's definitely a player's coach too. You can just tell he's a player's coach inside and out. Every time you hear him talk to his guys, it's like they're all in. You don't see even one guy out there like even with a look of disinterest. And I don't know if that's his recruiting, if that's his mentality, if that's how he instills it in the locker room, or all of the above. Like he always has that. Hey, I'll go to bat for my players because I know that they're going to go to bat for me.
Yeah. Like the only thing I'd like to see change, I want him to get a little more cocky. I want him to get a little more
swag.
I want some more swag, man. Like
what? No more jumpsuits? He's stop coming out in the same jumpsuit every single game? Oh, is that maybe come out with a little style?
Like stop playing the press conferences safe, like say what you want to say. You've been here long enough. Like let your actual personality come out instead of just coach talk.
Let Coach Franklin know if he sees this. Let him know. We want to see some more swag out. All right. So if anybody's got connections with Coach Franklin, let him know. Hey, pick it up a little bit. All right.
Right. Penn State voice of college football. We want to see some more swag, some more.
Please.
I want more cockiness. I know we're the better team here. Let's take care of business.
And I really, it'd be awesome to see that. First of all, just thinking about seeing Franklin just trash talking like Iowa, oh, we're gonna go in there and just dog walk them. All right, we're just gonna go in there and dog. We already know. We already got a plan. We're just gonna make sure that we're gonna put our foot. Oh, whoa, excuse me. We're gonna go and put our foot on their throat and make sure that they don't breathe. Oh yeah, coach, let's do this. All right.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, you gotta. With that confidence, you're not gonna let teams hang around either. Last year, that was a little bit of a problem too. Minnesota,
they linger.
Minnesota lingered around. USC, we were better than USC.
Oh yeah,
better than Minnesota. It took a fake punt to seal that game.
See, I do think that because then if he's gonna come in there and bring that swag, look, here's a good thing. One good team to look at that was Dion when they played TCU that first year in Colorado, and the team just came out with straight dripping swag, and they dog walked them. So if Penn State could just maintain that going forward through a whole season, be the U. Why not? Be the 2000s U. Why not go out there and be like, yeah, we're going to run this ball down your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 20 years since those Miami teams, and we still talk about them as the coolest thing in college football.
How cool they were, exactly.
When can we be the cool team?
It feels like we're always just kind of like the strong, quiet kid in the corner, And when are we going to come out and rip the shirt off and have the big S under our chest and become Superman?
Yeah, we need to get on the levels of 2019 LSU with Burrows and Jefferson, and
they had swag. That's it. The cigars, you remember all that stuff? Yeah, let them.
Michigan when they won the title, boring as hell. Most boring.
Have you met Jim Harbaugh? I wouldn't. He's not the most exciting human. I mean, he gets his players excited, but that guy seems as interesting as Wonder Bread.
Yeah. And then Ohio State last year, they didn't really they weren't cool.
No. But I'm even like trying to think what like a cool like Jeremiah Smith, I guess, had a little bit of swag, but no, let's make Penn State swag Penn State. Like, why can't we be the Swiftney Lions or something? The Swaggy Lions. Come on, let us get a little swag in there. That was terrible. Somebody's going to clip that, and that will be an internet infamy forever.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip that for a short later.
Oh, great! Can't wait. The Swifty Lions. Sounds like I'm Taylor Swift over here.
But yeah, I mean, I just want to see the next. Everybody wants to see the next step, you know. Like we made it to the playoffs once it expanded. Never made it as the 4-team playoff. Once it expanded, we did exactly what everybody thought we would do: make it. Like at some point, if James Franklin could win the national title, like it'd be one of the greatest things in college football.
That puts him at the next. That puts him. He's already a phenomenal. He gets the Natty. That puts him up there with the Sabins, the Bryants, those type of. I think he's just that one big win away. He doesn't have that big win under his belt. You know, a few Big Ten championships, but without Ohio State winning. So that already immediately can't even. Yeah, you won the Big Ten, but lost to Ohio State.
We had to beat Wisconsin to do it.
Right. Like
after we blocked the kick against Ohio State, like haven't had that success since against them. Like literally. And
he's just that one. He's that one step away, and that's it. It's just that one little, and not little, but that one big win to put him up there. And maybe it takes him putting on a chain and coming out wearing some sunglasses at a press conference. Getting a little extra polish on the head so it's looking extra shiny. Something. I don't know. Come out in a pair of pit vipers.
Where's our turnover chain?
See, exactly. There's nothing like that. We don't have a turnover
chain. We got the Lawn Boys chain.
We do that.
Singleton and Allen have
the Lawn Boys. Let's get like a WWE belt for let's get the boys a belt. Let them walk around with a little belt on their shoulder, Little double Penn State belt for, every interception. We got a belt for that. We got a belt for fumble recoveries. We got a chain for touchdown. I don't know. Let's do something.
Let's do something to just break out of the norm. Like, let's not be boring.
Let's not be Quakers for once. Let's just not be a Quaker. Let's not be a Quaker State for once. Let's get a little action in there.
All right. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Nick?
On this one, no, I'm good for today.
All right. Yeah, I think this was a good first episode. I mean, I'm going to be a little biased, of course.
No, yeah, I actually think this went rather well as well. I think we're going forward. I think we've already I like the chemistry, so that's an awesome thing.
It's only going to get better. Hopefully.
Exactly. That's the idea. And once we get I started a new job last month, so I haven't had my finger on the pulse completely. Yes, but it's after this, it got all my juices all fired up. So next week, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot more stats and information coming from my end.
Yeah, so anybody that saw this video, like, subscribe, review, help us build this into something. I mean, we're going to take suggestions. We want to be the fans podcast,
Yes, 100%. We're here for you.
We want to be the podcast of the people.
Podcast for the people. I love it. We want this to be the Lions' pride here. We're all hanging out together.
Right. Like, let's get a bunch of people together and have a good time.
Wait, and if we get a big enough following before the season starts, that's going to be even awesome because then we'll all be able to come in here, talk, having a blast. But I'm thinking maybe going forward too, maybe we'll do take a chat question section once we get a little bit more following and stuff like that, so we get a little more interaction. It'd be good. I'm super excited.
Yeah. Like these bigger channels on Voice College Football, one thing they do is call-in shows.
Oh, so perfect.
Once we're big enough, I mean, we can have call-ins. I mean, we can have a ball, man.
I'm loving it. I love it. I'm super excited, Andy. This is going to be a great journey with you, brother.
All right. On that note, we will say farewell, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care, y'all. Have a good one.